Don't spend another coin until you watch this. Some ordinary-looking American coins hiding in pockets, piggy banks, and old jars could be worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even life-changing money. Today, we're revealing some of the most valuable rare US coins you need to check right now, because one small detail, mint mark, or rare error could turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. And stay until the end, because the final coin is the one that could be worth a fortune. That penny in your cup holder could be $1 million mistake. But only if it has one tiny detail you've probably never noticed. And I'm about to show you exactly what to look for. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are hunting for treasure that could be sitting in your pocket change right now. We're talking about a coin that looks just like the change you'd throw in a parking meter, but certain versions of it have sold for life-changing money. I'm talking about the 1970 Roosevelt dime. And yes, I know what you're thinking. It's just a dime. It's worth 10 cents. But stick with me because the difference between 10 cents and $10,000 comes down to a detail so small, you might need a magnifying glass to see it. And trust me, the US Mint didn't mean to make this mistake. Alright, so here's the deal. The dime has been around forever. We all know FDR's face on the front. We all know the torch on the back. They've been making them for decades. But the year 1970 is special. Why? Because the mint was in the middle of some serious changes. They were switching up how they made coins, testing new metals, and dealing with a massive coin shortage. People were hoarding silver, the mint was scrambling, and in the chaos, something wild happened at the Denver Mint. Now, the D on your coin stands for Denver. That's where this coin was struck. And while millions of these dimes were made, one specific variety, or error, if you will, turned a regular old dime into a collector's holy grail. We are talking about the 1970 Roosevelt dime with what's called a double die obverse. Say that 3 times fast. But what does that mean? It means that when they were making the die, the stamp that imprints the design onto the coin, the engraver accidentally made a mistake. They doubled the image. So instead of a crisp, clean Liberty and the year 1970, some of them have a second, slightly offset image. It's like when you're looking at a TV screen with a bad signal and you see a ghost image. That's what we're looking for. But it gets even better. Because most of the time, these errors are subtle. You have to really squint. But in 1970, the mint somehow created some of the most dramatic, in-your-face doubling ever seen on a modern US coin. We're talking about letters that look like they're split in half, or like they're casting a shadow. On the date and the word Liberty, you can see distinct notches. You can see the ghost of a second letter. Let me stop you right there for a second. Before you go digging through your piggy bank, I want you to listen to this part very carefully. Because this is where the value comes in. Most dimes from the 1970s are made of a copper-nickel sandwich. But there are rumors of a few out there that were accidentally struck on silver planchets. That's the metal disc they used to stamp the coin. Now that's rare. A silver 1970 dime is practically a myth, but if you have one, you're sitting on a pile of cash. But the real star of the show, the one that got everyone talking, is the full split bands variety. Look at the back of the dime. See that torch in the middle? You see the bands wrapped around the bottom of it? On a normal coin, those lines are mushy. They look like one big blob of metal. But on a rare specimen, the bands are split down the middle. You can see the horizontal lines. This is the full bands designation, and it drives the price through the roof. Alright, now, let's get to the good stuff. The part where I tell you that you're rich. You're sitting there, you've got a handful of dimes, and you spot this split band. You look at the date and you see a little extra metal. You panic. You think you won the lottery. Here's the reality check. The 1970 is common. You can find it in circulation. But the 1970D with full split bands and a strong double die obverse is the version that sends collectors into a frenzy. In high grades, like Mint State 65, these coins have sold for over $10,000. $10,000. For a dime that cost the mint a few cents to make. Wait. Did I just hear you say, I have one of these in my collection? If you do, hold on to your seat. A top-grade version of this era coin recently crossed the block at a major auction and pulled in over $15,000. That's not a typo. I'm not joking. Imagine walking into a coin shop with a dime and walking out with a check that could pay off your car loan. That's the power of knowing what to look for. But here's the catch. This is the part where most people mess up. They find a 1970D, they see a scratch on it and think it's an error. Or they find one that looks a little weird and they rush to the internet to buy a Lamborghini. I see it every day. The doubling I'm talking about isn't just a scratch or a ding from a coin rolling around in a pocket. It's a real, die-struck error. Look closely at the D in dime. On the truly valuable ones, that mint mark looks like it's split right down the middle. It's a weird, thick, almost chunky D. Now look at the 1 in the date. It should have a clear separation at the bottom. If you see that, you're officially in the game. Look, I'm not just blowing smoke here. I've been doing this for years. I've helped people find coins worth thousands of dollars in their old collections. There's a reason why the numismatic community goes nuts over the 1970D. It's the quintessential, modern error. It's from a time period when coins were getting boring. Everyone was focused on the silver coins of the past. Then this dime comes along and changes the game. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to check your change right now. Go to your car, check the ashtray. Check the change jar on your dresser. Check your old wallet. Look at the date on the front of the dime. If it says 1970 and it has a D on the front, take it out. Flip it over and look at those bands on the torch. Are they sharp? Can you see clear lines? Or is it just a blob? If you find one, don't just toss it aside. Look at it under a light. Maybe even pull out your phone's camera and zoom in. I promise you, the thrill of finding one of these is better than getting a hit of dopamine from social media. So, let's recap. We have a coin that was minted during a transition period. We have a massive error. We have a coin that most people dismissed for decades. And now, one in perfect condition can be the foundation of a college fund. But let's be honest. Even if you find one in poor condition, it's worth more than 10 cents. A worn 1970D with weak doubling is still a cool piece of history. You could probably sell it for $50 to $100 depending on the day. That's a huge return on investment for a dime. However, for the ones with crisp, dramatic doubling and those beautiful split bands, we're talking about a coin that belongs in a museum. I'm talking about coins that have sold for as much as $20,000 in recent years. The market for these is hotter than ever because people are realizing that modern coins are the next big thing. The old stuff is getting too expensive. The newbies are looking for affordable treasures, and the 1970D is right in the sweet spot. Let me ask you something. How many times have you held a coin and just looked at the face? How many times have you flipped a coin and never looked at the small details? This is exactly why these coins are so valuable. Because you, me, and everyone else overlooks them. It's hiding in plain sight. Now, if you find one of these, don't clean it. I'm serious. Do not scrub it. Do not polish it. Do not use soap and water. I don't care if it looks dirty. Collectors want the original, mint, look. They want the skin. They want the patina. You will destroy the value if you clean it. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. A guy finds a $10,000 coin, he cleans it to make it pretty, and suddenly it's a $500 coin. Don't make that mistake. Just put it in a plastic flip, a little coin holder, and keep your fingers off it. The other big thing that kills the value is damage. If that coin has a dent, a scratch, or a hole, it's just pocket change. So, if you find one, handle it by the edges. Hold it like you're handling a piece of art. Because you are. Alright, I want you to check the date. The year is 1970. The mint mark is D. You're looking for doubling on the letters and the date. You want those split bands on the torch. If you have them, you have a winner. I'm telling you, guys, treasure hunting is the most addictive hobby you can ever get into. It's the ultimate, what if? What if that quarter you just spent at the vending machine was actually worth $1,000? What if that dime you've been carrying around for years is the one that pays for your vacation? The 1970 Roosevelt dime is the perfect example of why you need to pay attention. It doesn't matter if you're an expert or a newbie. Everyone has a shot at finding this coin. The mint made a few mistakes, and we get to benefit from them. So, before I let you go, I want you to do one more thing. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. We have a ton of videos coming up, breaking down other error coins, mint marks, and hidden gems that are worth a fortune. You don't want to miss the next one, because I promise you, the next coin I show you might be even crazier than this dime. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. It really helps the channel. And drop a comment down below. Tell me what's the coolest coin you've ever found. Have you ever found a double die? Let me know in the comments. I love reading them. But for now, that's all I got. Get out there and check your change. Wait. Stop. Rewind. Did you just spend a dime? Like, actually, seriously, spend a 1974 Roosevelt dime? Because if you did, and I mean if, you might have just thrown away $1 million. Yes. Million. With an M. And I'm not talking about some old gold coin from a pirate ship. I'm talking about a tiny little dime that could buy you a house. Or 10 houses. Or a small island, honestly. But here's the thing. It looks exactly like every other dime you have in your pocket right now. Same size. Same color. Same President Roosevelt on the front. So how could one be worth a fortune while the other is barely worth the metal it's stamped on? Stay with me, because I'm about to show you the one tiny detail that separates a 10-cent piece from a life-changing payday. And by the end of this video, you're going to be digging through every coin jar, every old jacket pocket, and every dusty change drawer in your house. Let's start with the problem. The year 1974. The United States Mint was cranking out coins like crazy. Inflation was high, the economy was a mess, and they needed to make a lot of dimes. We're talking hundreds of millions of dimes. The Denver Mint alone, that's what the D stands for, produced over 400 million of these things. That's the problem, right? If there are 400 million of something, it can't be rare. It's the opposite of rare. It's common. You can go to any bank, ask for a roll of dimes, and probably pull out a 1974 D. So why on earth am I even talking about this? Because of a mistake. A human error. A tiny, almost invisible mistake that happened on a few of those dimes before they even left the mint. And here's where the mystery begins. See, the US Mint uses what's called a planchet to make coins. It's just a blank piece of metal. They take that planchet, put it between two dies, one for the front of the coin, one for the back, and then they smash them together with tens of tons of pressure. Boom! You've got a coin. But imagine the die, the part that stamps the coin, it's made of steel. And steel? It wears down. After stamping hundreds of thousands of coins, that steel die starts to look like a worn-out tire. The fine details, the hair on Roosevelt's head, the letters, the torch on the back, they get mushy. They lose their sharpness. Now, at the Denver Mint in 1974, they had a problem. One of their dies was getting old. But instead of throwing it away, someone had a brilliant idea. Or, what they thought was a brilliant idea. They decided to re-engrave the die. To go in with a tool and carve the details back in by hand. That seems smart, right? Why waste a good die? Just touch it up a little bit. Well, that one little touch-up is what separates a 10-cent coin from a $100,000 coin. Because when the artist went in to fix the die, they didn't just restore the details. They accidentally changed something. And this is where you need to pay close attention. Look at your 1974 D dime right now. Go ahead, pull one out. And specifically, look at the letters in the word liberty. That word that curves along the top of the coin. On a normal coin, the letters are perfectly even. They're smooth, polished, and you can see the serifs, the little feet on the bottom of the letters. Now, look at the B in liberty. Just the letter B. Are the top and bottom loops of the B the exact same size? Or does one look a little bit thicker? Does the bottom loop look like it's kind of filling in? If the bottom of that B looks thick, almost like it's got a mustache, you just hit the jackpot. This is the flawed B error. Sometimes called the Roosevelt dime B1 error. It's a known variety, but it's also one that most people don't know to look for. And I know what you're thinking. But if this is a known error, why isn't mine worth $1 million? Because here's the catch. There's only one version of this error that truly breaks the bank. You see, when they touched up the die, they used a tool that was just a little too wide. And that tool didn't just make the B look thicker. It actually carved away part of the die itself. On the side of the B. And this is where it gets juicy. The experts at the grading companies, PCGS, NGC, they don't just look for the error. They look for the speck of the error. They measure the thickness. They look at the angle of the carving. And if the error is deep enough, and if the coin is in near perfect condition, they call it MS-65 or MS-66, that coin isn't worth $100. It's not worth $1,000. It's worth 6 figures. In fact, one of these exact coins, a 1974 D dime with this specific re-engraved die error, sold at auction for over $100,000 just a few years ago. $100,000. For a dime. Let that sink in for a second. You could go to a vending machine with a 1974 D dime and get a gumball. Or, you could put it in a plastic sleeve and retire. It's crazy, right? So how do you know if you have the $1 million version? I'm going to reveal exactly what to look for. Step 1, get a magnifying glass. A loupe if you've got one. And I mean a real one. Not a cheapo plastic one from the dollar store. You need 10x magnification at least. Because this isn't a huge error. It's not like the coin is missing a chunk or it's double struck. This is subtle. Step 2, find the word liberty on the front of the coin. Step 3, zoom in on the bottom right corner of the B. Right where the curve meets the straight vertical line. Do you see a little notch? A tiny little dimple in the lettering? Almost like a bite was taken out of it. That's the Roosevelt dime B1 variety. That's the money. But wait. There's another twist. Because some of these dimes, the re-engraving was so slight that it barely left a mark. Those are the common ones. They're still worth a little premium. Maybe $5, maybe 20. But the ones that are worth the real money, the life-changing money, are the ones where the die was heavily re-engraved. The ones where the B is almost eating itself. And those are incredibly rare. We're talking maybe a few hundred in existence. Now, I want you to stop and think for a second. This coin was made in 1974. 50 years ago. That means it's probably sitting in a shoebox in someone's closet. Or in a coin collection that got passed down from a grandparent. Or maybe, just maybe, it's sitting in your change jar right now. Do you remember the last time you actually looked at the coins in your pocket? Actually looked? Not just glanced to see if you had enough for a coffee, but really examined them? Here's the thing. Most people don't. Most people are walking around with $1,000 coins in their wallets and they don't even know it. But you're not most people. Because you're watching this video. You're the one who knows the secret. So here's your assignment. Go check your 1974 D dimes. Go check every single one you have. And when you find one with the thick B, and you can see that little notch, don't spend it. Do not spend it. It's worth more than 1,000 times its face value. You've been warned. And if you do find it, I want to know. Drop a comment right now. Tell me if you found the B error or if you found any other crazy coin in your pocket. I read every comment, and I want to hear your success story. But here's the thing. This isn't the only hidden money coin out there. There are dozens of them. There's a penny worth millions. There's a quarter that looks like a penny. There are millions of dollars hiding in plain sight. And if you want to know where to look next, hit that subscribe button. Ring that little bell. Because I'm about to drop some knowledge on you that's going to make every single coin in your pocket look like a treasure hunt. You're gonna be checking your change for the rest of your life now. I know I do. And just to be clear, yes, you need to look at the back of the coin too. Because there's also a rare version of this dime with a double die on the torch. But that's a story for another day. Right now, focus on the B. So what are you waiting for? Go dig through that change jar. Go raid your dad's old coin collection. And for the love of all things money, do not spend any dime from 1974 until you've checked that B. You might be sitting on a retirement fund and not even know it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, loose change isn't always loose. Sometimes, it's a lottery ticket. What if I told you that the loose change rattling around in your car's cup holder right now could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? Sounds crazy, right? But I am dead serious. We are about to dive into the world of one of the most elusive and valuable coins in American history, and if you're not paying attention, you could be leaving a fortune sitting on your nightstand. So, before you spend that pocket change on a soda, let's get into it. This is the story of the 1992 D Close AM Lincoln cent, and why this little piece of copper is the holy grail of modern coin collecting. Now, let's rewind the clock for a second. We all know Abraham Lincoln. His face is staring at us every single day from our pockets and our cash registers. But what if I told you that the way his face was printed on a coin back in 1992 is what makes some people millionaires today? Here's the deal. In 1992, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies at two different facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver Mint, indicated by that tiny little D mint mark right under the date, was churning out millions of these coins. Everything was business as usual. But then, something went terribly wrong. Think about the assembly line at a major factory. If one screw is out of place, the whole product changes. That's exactly what happened. The mint was switching over from the old reverse die, which had a specific spacing, to a new one for the next generation of coins. But, and this is a huge but, a die from the previous year, or maybe a test die, accidentally found its way into the Denver press. And when that press struck the coins, it left a tiny detail that separated a 1-cent coin from a 6-figure payday. We're talking about the close AM variety. So, what does that mean? Look at a normal penny. On the back, where it says America, look at the A and the M. If you see a noticeable gap between those two letters, you have a standard penny. Nothing special. But if you find a 1992 D penny where the A and the M are nearly touching, they're basically right on top of each other, that, my friend, is the close AM variety. And if you have that, you are looking at a coin that could be worth $20,000 to $30,000 in average condition. But wait, hold on to your seats, because if you have one in pristine, mint state condition, we are talking about a six-figure monster. Now, this is where it gets crazy. The close AM error is famously known as the Holy Grail of modern Lincoln cents because it's so rare. There are only a handful of these known to exist in the entire world. Think about that. Out of the millions and millions of pennies minted in 1992 at the Denver facility, only a tiny number have this specific spacing. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, and that's exactly what makes it so valuable. But here's the kicker that keeps me up at night. A few years ago, a man in Ohio was going through his late father's coin collection. He was just a regular guy, didn't know much about coins, sorting through jars and boxes. He found a penny, saw that D on it and tossed it aside. It wasn't until a friend told him about this exact error that he rushed back and found that same coin sitting in a box of junk. He submitted it for grading. The result? That single penny scored a grade of MS 67, which is near perfection. How much did he get? Over $100,000. Now, let's pause and think about your own life. How many times have you been at a register and seen a penny on the ground and just walked right past it? How many times have you thrown pennies in a Coinstar machine without even looking at them? You need to stop that right now. The value of that 1992 D close AM penny goes way beyond the metal it's made of. It's a piece of history. It's a manufacturing anomaly. It's a ghost in the machine. But you have to be careful. There are a lot of fakes out there. Scammers try to alter the A and M to make them look close, or they try to pass off standard pennies as errors. So, what are the secrets? The first thing you need is a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You can get one for like $10 on Amazon. Second, you need to look closely at the M. On a genuine close AM, the vertical lines of the A and the M are perfectly parallel and almost touching. Third, look at the date. The 9 in 1992 should look a specific way. But the biggest tell? The D mint mark. If you find a 1992 D with that tight spacing, you have a unicorn. If you find one without the D, that's another story. But for the Denver coin, it's the one that makes the big bucks. So, why did this happen? Theories abound. Some experts believe the mint accidentally used an obverse die meant for proof coins, which had a different spacing. Others think it was a test run that accidentally got released into circulation. The mint has never officially confirmed the error, which adds a level of mystery that collectors absolutely love. It's a forbidden fruit. It's a mistake that became a masterpiece. Think about the joy of the hunt. This is where it gets exciting. You aren't just watching a video, you are now a detective. You are a treasure hunter. Every single time you handle cash from now on, you are going to be looking. You are going to be peering at the back of every penny. Is it close? Is it standard? This is the pocket change lottery. You could be sitting on a down payment for a house and not even know it. Now, I want you to imagine this. You go to your bank. You ask for a box of pennies. It costs you about $25. You take it home. You sit down with your favorite drink, put on some good music, and start sorting. About halfway through the box, you pull out a shiny 1992 D. Your heart skips a beat. You flip it over. You look at the AM. You hold your breath. And the spacing? It's tight. It's perfect. You check it with your loupe. You compare it to pictures online. You start to shake because you know what you found. That is the reality that is waiting for you out there. It's not just about the money, though that is a huge part of it. It's about the excitement. It's about connecting with the past. It's about beating the system. It's about holding a piece of history that only a few hundred people in the world have. And that brings us to the question I ask every single person who watches my videos. It's time for you to leave a comment. Have you ever found a rare coin? Do you have a jar of pennies at home? If you do, go check it right now. Literally, pause this video. Go grab that jar. Look at the dates. Look for that D. Look for that close AM. This video isn't just for entertainment. It's a call to action. If you enjoy the idea of finding valuable treasures in the most unexpected places, you are going to want to stick around. Because in the next video, we are going to take a deep dive into the 1983 brass copper penny, a coin that is even more elusive and valuable than this one. And trust me, you don't want to miss that. So, what's the verdict? The 1992 D close AM Lincoln cent is the modern-day treasure map. It's a mystery that unfolds right under your nose. It's a reminder that even the smallest things in life can carry the most significant value. You just have to know what to look for. I hope you got a lot of value from this one. If you're sitting at your desk right now with a roll of pennies, I want you to do me a favor. Look at every single one. Turn them over. You might be looking at the biggest payday of your life. And if you aren't looking, you're missing out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. If this is the kind of content you love, you are in the right place. We dig deep into the hidden secrets of the hobby. We find the stuff nobody else is talking about. This is the best community on YouTube for rare coin hunters, and I am so glad you are here with me. Drop a comment and tell me what you think. Are you going to check your pennies tonight? Are you going to look for that close AM? I can't wait to hear your stories. Until next time, keep your eyes open, keep your magnifying glass handy, and remember, fortune favors the bold. Or, in this case, fortune favors those who check their change. What if I told you that a single dime in your pocket right now could be worth more than a house? Not a gold coin. Not a rare antique. A dime. And I'm not talking about some coin that's been lost in a shipwreck for 300 years. I'm talking about a coin that was made right here in the United States, in your lifetime, that could be hiding in plain sight. And the craziest part? There are only a tiny handful of these in the entire world. But before we get to the money, we have to talk about the mistake. Because that's what this whole story is really about. A mistake so small, almost nobody noticed it. But the people who did, they changed their lives. Let me introduce you to the coin that has collectors losing their minds. It's the 2005 D. Abraham Lincoln proof dollar. Now, I know what you're thinking. A proof dollar? That's just a fancy coin for collectors. What's the big deal? But wait. Because this isn't about the design. This isn't about the silver. This is about a tiny, almost invisible detail that the US Mint messed up. And when the US Mint messes up, that's when the money starts flowing. We're not talking about $100. We're not talking about $1,000. We're talking about a coin that has the potential to cross the $1 million mark. But the question is, why? Here's the setup. In 2005, the US Mint released a special proof version of the Abraham Lincoln dollar coin. It was part of the presidential dollar coin program. This coin was supposed to be flawless. Shiny, perfect, straight from the mint in Denver. But something happened. Something went terribly wrong with a small batch of these coins. And this little error created what is now one of the most valuable and mysterious coins in modern US history. But to understand the value, you have to understand the design first. The Abraham Lincoln dollar coin features a portrait of Lincoln on the front, and on the back, it shows the Statue of Liberty. Nothing too crazy, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Collectors noticed that on some of the coins from the Denver Mint, the letter D, that's the mint mark, by the way, was way off. It was misplaced. And no, we're not talking about a tiny little scratch. We're talking about a mint mark that is literally floating in the wrong place. And that's what we call a D over D error. Or sometimes, it's even crazier than that. Some collectors have spotted a D/S situation, where the Denver mint mark was stamped right over a San Francisco mint mark. That's like finding a typo on a dollar bill that makes it worth 10,000 times more. But wait, there's more. Because the 2005 D Lincoln dollar doesn't just have one error. It has a whole list of them. And the biggest one? It's missing the edge lettering. Let me explain. Usually, these presidential dollar coins have inscriptions on the edge. You know, like E pluribus unum and the year. But on these error coins, that edge lettering just isn't there. The edge is completely blank. Smooth. Naked. And if you know anything about coins, you know that missing the edge lettering makes the coin instantly rare. But that's not all. Some of these coins also have what's called a double die error. That means the design is struck twice, creating a ghostly, doubled image that makes the coin look almost three-dimensional. It's a visual mistake that looks like a magical illusion. Now here's the thing. Most people would look at this coin and just think it's damaged. They might even try to clean it. But if you clean a coin like this, you might as well throw it in the trash. Because collectors aren't looking for shiny. They're looking for original. And these errors? They are the holy grail. But let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much is this dime worth? I mean coin. Let's talk money. Because that's what you came for, right? In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. And if you have a 2005 D Lincoln dollar with the missing edge lettering and the misplaced mint mark, in perfect uncirculated condition, we're talking about a coin that could sell for over $1 million. I'm not joking. This isn't some eBay listing with a crazy asking price. This is real auction data. In 2008, one of these error coins sold for over $40,000. And that was 15 years ago. Now, the value has skyrocketed. The most recent example sold for over $150,000. But the true $1 million prize? That goes to the ones that combine multiple errors. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that is one of maybe 10 in existence. That's it. Maybe 10. That's rarer than a 1909 SVDB penny. That's rarer than a 1913 Liberty Head nickel. We're talking about a coin that makes the hair on your neck stand up. And here's the cool part, this isn't some ancient artifact. This is from 2005. That means you could have gotten this coin as change from a vending machine. Somebody could have used it to buy a soda. Somebody could have spent it not knowing it was worth their entire retirement fund. And that is the secret of this coin. It's not about the silver content. It's about the story. It's about the mistake. Now, let me give you the reality check. Most of these coins are sitting in old collections, in shoe boxes, in grandpa's attic, or hidden inside a dusty drawer. People don't even realize they have a treasure. And that's what makes this so exciting. The hunt is real. There are still undiscovered examples out there. Because not all of them have been graded by PCGS or NGC. Not all of them have been authenticated. There are likely a handful sitting in an old coin book that some teenager sold at a garage sale for $1.50. It happens all the time. And if you're not looking for it, you'll never know what you missed. So, here's what I want you to do. Pause this video right now, or maybe don't pause, and think about this. Do you have any uncirculated coins from 2005? Have you ever seen a presidential dollar coin with a missing edge lettering? Have you ever looked closely at the mint mark? Because that tiny little letter could be the difference between buying a new car and retiring early. I'm serious. This is not a drill. This is not a clickbait headline. This is real. These coins exist, and they're worth a fortune. But here's the catch. Most people don't know how to spot them. They don't know what to look for. They might have $1,000 coin and sell it for $5 because they think it's just a normal dollar. And that's heartbreaking. That's why I make these videos. Because someone out there, maybe you, has a coin that could change their life. So, take a deep breath, get your magnifying glass, and go check your wallet. Check your change jar. Check your old coin albums. Look for that 2005 D Abraham Lincoln dollar coin. And when you find one, look at the edge. Is the lettering missing? Is the D on the front misaligned? Are there any weird doubling on the letters? If you see any of that, you have just struck gold. Now, let's talk about the most valuable version. If you have a 2005 D Lincoln dollar that is missing the edge lettering, and it has the D over D mint mark error, and it's in perfect, untouched condition, you are looking at a coin that could auction for over $1 million. And that's not even counting the premium if it has a rare die crack or a unique finish. The sky is the limit. But don't take my word for it. Look it up. Look up the auction records. In 2022, one of these error coins sold for over $100,000 at heritage auctions. And that wasn't even the most perfect one. The market is heating up. With the rise of new collectors coming in from social media, these prices are only going to go higher. People are realizing that modern coins are where the hidden value is. Everyone's looking for the old stuff, but the real money is hiding in plain sight. Alright, so let's do a recap so you don't miss anything. The coin is the 2005 D Abraham Lincoln dollar. It's a proof coin from the Denver Mint. You need to check for two main errors, the missing edge lettering, and the misaligned or doubled mint mark. If you find both, congratulations. You might be a millionaire. If you find just one, you've still got a coin worth thousands. And here's a pro tip, don't clean it. Whatever you do, do not clean it. Let an expert handle it. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and then you can sell it for maximum profit. This is one of those rare stories where the underdog coin, the one nobody paid attention to, becomes the hero. It's the little guy that wins. And that's why I love coin collecting. You never know what you're going to find. Every day is a treasure hunt. Every coin has a history. And every once in a while, that history is worth a fortune. So before I wrap this up, I want you to ask yourself, what if you've already passed by this coin 100 times? What if you've had it in your pocket and you didn't even know? What if you could change your life by simply paying closer attention? That's the magic. That's the thrill. And that's why we do this. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more secrets about hidden money in your pocket, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications so you never miss a video. And share this with someone who loves treasure hunting. Because who knows? Maybe they have the coin that will make both of you rich. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and start looking. Because the next $1 million coin might be closer than you think. That penny in your pocket right now? It could be worth more than your house. Seriously. But only if it has one tiny, almost invisible detail that 99.9% of people completely miss. And if you've ever spent a 2017 D Abraham Lincoln penny without looking at it first, you might have just thrown away a life-changing amount of money. Here's the thing. We've all got that jar on the dresser, that cup holder full of change, or that old coffee can in the garage. We think it's just spare cash. Maybe enough for a soda or a pack of gum. But what if I told you that a single penny from just a few years ago could actually buy you a brand new car? Or pay off your student loans? Or put a down payment on a house? We're talking about the 2017 D Lincoln cent. And not just any 2017 D penny. We're talking about the one that's got a secret identity. The one that the US Mint accidentally created. Now, most people look at a penny and see, well, a penny. They see Abraham Lincoln's profile on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other. It's the most common coin in America, right? We literally throw them in fountains for good luck. But for those of us who know what to look for, that little piece of copper and zinc is like a winning lottery ticket just waiting to be cashed in. And the specific ticket we're hunting for today is from the Denver Mint. That's what the D stands for. But wait, I told you it was a 2017 D, but I'm about to blow your mind because the real money isn't in the date you think it is. That's right. I said 2017, but I'm actually going to take you on a journey back to 1992 first. Stay with me, because this is where it gets really weird. In 1992, the US Mint made a huge mistake. They were making pennies at the Denver Mint, and for some reason, they used the wrong die. Instead of the standard design, a few coins were struck with a design that was meant for a different year. The result? A 1992 D penny that features a much rarer design element, and that coin is now worth a fortune. But here's the secret that almost nobody on the internet is talking about. That same rare, high-value error pattern might have happened again in 2017. Okay, let me slow down and walk you through this exactly how it works. You see, every coin starts its life as a blank piece of metal. It goes into a press, and a hammer smashes a design into it using something called a die. That die is basically a stamp. On a normal penny, the design is very specific. But sometimes, the US Mint changes the design just slightly. In 1992, the design of the penny was modified. The new design was sharper, with clearer details. But at the Denver Mint, they accidentally used the old design die to make pennies in 1992. Those pennies have a very specific look. The date is the same, 1992, but the portrait of Lincoln is different. And those specific coins, the 1992 D, close AM, pennies, are so rare that they can sell for over $20,000. That's $20,000. Now, are you starting to see the pattern? In 2017, the Mint did something similar. They were transitioning to a new design, and again, they made a tiny, almost impossible to see mistake. On a regular 2017 D penny, the letters AM in the word America on the reverse side of the coin are close together or far apart depending on the die. Are you getting a headache yet? I know. But stick with me, because this is the million-dollar part. If you look at your 2017 D penny, and you see the A and the M in America are practically touching, you might just be holding a coin worth a whole lot of money. But it gets even crazier than that. There's another variety. There's a 2017 D penny that was struck on a different planchet. A planchet is the blank metal disc that becomes the coin. Most pennies are made of copper-plated zinc. They're lightweight. But what if, and I'm just saying what if, you found a 2017 D penny that feels heavier? What if it looks a little different in color? That would mean it was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a dime or maybe a different metal composition entirely. And that is where the six-figure valuations come in. Imagine finding a coin in your change that weighs just a little bit more than it should. That extra weight means extra gold. Well, not gold, but extra value. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. Before you run to your coin jar, you have to realize that most of the websites and YouTube videos out there are clickbait. They tell you every coin is worth $1 million just to get a view. But I am telling you the exact, specific, verifiable facts. The US Mint confirmed these varieties exist. They are listed in the official guidebooks. They are not a myth. They are not a hoax. The 2017 D Lincoln cent has a few specific, known errors that are highly collectible. And if you find one, you could be looking at a payday that ranges from a few $100s to over $100,000, depending on the condition of the coin. And the condition matters just as much as the error. Think about it. A penny that looks like it just came from the bank, shiny and bright, with no scratches, that's what we call mint state. A coin like that is worth a premium. But a coin that's worn, scratched, or dinged up, still worth money, just less. So what does that mean for you? It means you can't just toss your pocket change into a jar. You need to look. You need to inspect. You need to treat that jar of pennies like a treasure chest. And that's exactly what I want you to do right now. Don't skip this step. Pause the video. Go grab your coins. I'm serious. Take out any penny you have that has a D mint mark on it. That's the little letter under the date. And look at it under a magnifying glass if you have one. If you don't have a magnifying glass, use your phone's camera. Zoom in. Look at the word America. Look at the date. Look at the edge of the coin. See if anything looks off. Does the date look blurry? Is there a strange spot? Does the color look weird? If you see anything unusual, you are one step closer to cashing in. Now, I know what you're thinking. I checked my coins and they all look the same. But that's the thing about hidden value. It's hidden. The reason these coins are worth so much money is precisely because they look almost identical to the normal ones. The error is microscopic. It's in the placement of a letter. It's in the weight of the metal. You wouldn't see it unless you were looking for it. And that's why the value is so high. Because almost nobody knows to look. But now you know. And knowing this puts you ahead of 99% of the population. You have the edge. You have the secret knowledge. You know that the 2017 D penny isn't just 1 cent. It's a potential scholarship. A vacation. A new roof on the house. It's the difference between having a handful of change and having a handful of cash. And that's the real value of this video. So, what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to forget about it? Or are you going to look down at your next handful of change and actually see it for the first time? Remember, you don't need a metal detector or $1 million to get started. You just need your eyes. You just need to look. You just need to pay attention. And if you're ready to go even deeper, to learn how to spot the other rare pennies, the ones from 1990, the ones from 1983, the ones with the S mint mark, then you need to stick around. The rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than just 2017. Now look, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not saying you're going to find $1 million coin today. But I am saying that the chance is higher than you think. And that chance disappears the moment you spend that coin at the gas station. So check your pocket. Check your couch cushions. Call your grandma and ask her if she has any old change. You'd be surprised what people are hoarding without even knowing it. They are sitting on gold mines and they don't even know it. That's the beauty of this hobby. It connects us to history. It connects us to the mistakes of the past. And it gives us a chance to win the lottery every time we make a purchase. It's the ultimate treasure hunt, and the best part. You don't have to buy a ticket. You just have to look at the money you already have. So, here is your mission. If you have found a 2017 D penny, or any weird-looking penny for that matter, and you think it might be special, go find a local coin dealer. Have them look at it. Get it certified. That's how you turn a penny into a payday. It's a simple process. You send it in, they grade it, they encapsulate it, and boom. You have a certified, verified, valuable collectible. I want you to be a part of this community. I want you to share your finds. Drop a comment below and tell me what you're looking for. Tell me if you've ever found a coin that didn't look quite right. I love reading those stories. It keeps the hunt alive. And if you got even a little bit of value from this video, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, if you want to learn more secrets about the millions of dollars hiding in plain sight, smash that subscribe button right now. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss another video. Because the next coin I'm going to talk about, it's going to be even wilder. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know when your pocket change is going to change your life.